Hello you guys, this is Vladi B, and in today's episode I'm gonna share with you my Robinhood account, give you a quick tutorial. I'm not gonna go over how to create an account because it's pretty straightforward. You are going to need your personal information such as your social security. If you live in the States, you are allowed to have Robinhood. If you live in Canada or anywhere else, unfortunately you do not have the access to Robinhood. Because you need to have a social security. That's all you're gonna need, and of course a valid ID. Now Robinhood is a very good app, a starter app that can help you transition from being a complete novice in a stock investment and become much more knowledgeable. Just get your feet wet, as they say, in the world of the stock trading, stock market. Now Robinhood, let me just clear it, get it out of the way, is not a day trading app. You cannot day trade in Robinhood unless you do have a $25,000 sitting on here. As you can see, I here have $5,231. Out of that money, I have actually invested $5,000 of my own over the last 6 months. That's all I trust Robinhood with. And you can see here, you can see your chart. So this is my chart. This is a daily. So you can switch from 1 day view to 1 week view to 1 month, 3 months, and 1 year. So once I click all, it actually shows me only my actual trading, which is perfect. So you can see that I started back in June. June 10th looks like the very first day that I got on here, and then I got a free stock that was worth $5.55. I actually put only 1,000 in here, but it doesn't show you that. You can go into your account management and you can see your transactions and your deposits. So then I started buying, and you can see how my stocks, my chart keeps going up and down. This is like a roller coaster right there. So I'm starting to lose money here, gain money, lose money, gain money. At some point I was up $100, which was great. And at some point I was also down almost $300, so $260, $259 roughly. I was down here. You can see that in my all of my time trading on Robinhood, my lowest point was roughly I was down about $320, and then I was also up $544. So the reason I keep my number even for what I actually put it and deposit into the app is so that I can clearly see how much I'm either losing or gaining. So I was 10%, almost 11% up between June 10th and November 24th. So this is only a few months. Now, in my personal opinion, if this money, if those $5,000 were sitting in my savings account, I wouldn't have gotten nothing for them. Maybe a couple of cents, like maybe 5 or 10 cents each month for having that money sit there. Having it here and investing more or less the right way, trying to be careful, I was able to make $500. If I was to sell all of my stocks on November 24th, I would have left with extra $500 that I didn't have before, that I made strictly based on this app. But then of course, you know, nothing lasts forever, and on December 1st I was down most of that money, and then it went back and forth, and today I'm at $231 as of today, and I'm still in the positive, which is great. I'm in the green, as they say. Now here you can see the stocks that I own. What I like about Robinhood is you can have a partial stock. You don't have to have a full share. You can have a partial share. So here I have 0.55% of a stock of Tesla. Here is something that I do regret not getting more, because Tesla now is pretty high. If you look at Tesla, it costs $704. I bought it when it was $199. Here's what I like to share with you in particular about Robinhood. Whenever I'm about to buy or consider buying a stock, what I look at right away is the 5-year performance of the stock. So we can see here that Tesla 5 years ago was only $48. Can you imagine if you bought a bunch of shares, even just worth $1,000? If I put only $1,000 5 years ago into Tesla, it would have made me a huge return. like 1000% return. One thing about Robinhood and the stock market in general is that it is all a gamble. In the end of the day, it is all a gamble. Nobody knows if it's gonna go up, if it's gonna go down. You can see it looks like a roller coaster for a reason, but generally it's going up. The trend is upwards. You can see that it's going up. So right now I don't want to buy more Tesla stocks because they are at its peak. Right now Tesla stock costs more than it's ever been before, and for that reason I don't want to buy more, and that's something I want to make sure you pay attention to. It's really important at what condition the stock is right now. For example, let's look at AAL, which is American Airlines. So I bought this stock when it was $12.29. Now it costs $15. Let's look back 3 months period. There was a point where it cost $17, right? So it went a little bit down. So here you can see it was only $10 per share. So if I was to buy it then and then sell it here when it was $18 almost, you know, I'm making $8 per share. So if you have 100, you know, times that by 8, that's $800 that you're making. Now the cool thing about this is that they are giving you a free stock when you sign up. Don't get your hopes up. The stock is nothing crazy, but it's still worth it. As you can see, I got my first $5. That's $5. Not many apps give you money right off the bat just for signing up. So you can get free money just by signing up. Just follow the link below in my description. I'll keep it towards the top of the description so that you don't miss it. And by signing up, I was able to get one stock. It's free money, $5 that I got that I didn't have before. And then all you need is just a little bit of money to start trading. Again, I used $1,000. You can go as little as $100, and that will be enough. And you might even be able to make money from that $100 if you invest the right way. Now, the unique thing about Robinhood, the good thing and at the same time it is the bad thing too, is that it's all in your own hands. So if you don't know what you're doing, you have to be super careful. I recommend doing a lot of research, and one advice that you've probably heard about before, and you should stick to that advice all the time: don't ever put money in the stock market which you are not willing to lose. If you put 500 in there, it better not be your rent money, because it can disappear. So you're essentially buying your way in to this world, and then this is like your bank account. So I can, right now, you can see that my buying power is $299. That means out of that $5,231, only $299 is available money for me to withdraw right now or use it to buy more stocks. If I want to get to this money, I have to wait until the market opens, sell my shares, my stocks, and then I can withdraw that money as well. So make sure that you understand that this money that you put in here is more or less for the long term. There are other great videos that of guys going deeper into which stocks to buy and how different options work. And this video is pretty basic, just for you to understand how it works and how to get started. If you're lucky and you're smart and also careful about where you invest, you will make money. If you're not careful and you just start buying just whatever, you're gonna end up losing money. Let me give you an example of one stock that I'm regretting right now, and it is actually Nikola, NKLA, which stands for Nikola. And Nikola is a company that works on self-driving cars, semis. Nikola used to be a very promising stock to have, and I ended up buying. My average cost is 34. I have 23 shares right now, and the market value is only 345. You can see I'm right now down. My total return is negative 437. So essentially I spent $783 on Nikola, and the average price is 34. My mistake is that I bought when, let me show you the history here. I'm gonna show the whole history of my purchase for Nikola. So it starts from here. In June, I was recommended by a friend who was into stock trading. He says you should get Nikola because they're a very good, promising company, and their stock is going down right now, so it's a good time to buy. I said, okay, let's do it. And I bought two shares at $69. So here already it was a huge mistake. And then they started going down and I bought more, went down, I bought more, bought more. And you can see that I bought very high. I bought really expensive. And then I kept buying, and even December I bought two more at $17, hoping that at some point it's gonna go up. That is now worth $15 today. And this thing is a roller coaster too. So at some point here, 34, I could have gotten some money back if I sold all of my stocks here, because I did buy, remember, some stocks at $15, $18. So and 34. So if I sold 3, I would have made that money back, but I'd still be losing because I'm waiting for it to go up before I sell. And this is my personal strategy. I'm gonna hold on to this and hopefully they don't go bankrupt. If I know for sure they're going bankrupt, someone says in the news that the Nikola is going bankrupt, I'm gonna try to save my remaining $345 and just sell it all and get out of that stock. But I'm really hoping that at some point it's gonna go up back to at least 34 like it did in November, which wasn't that long ago. Or if it goes to one of those points here where it's $50, right? Or one of those points here where it was $70, $75, then I can actually make some money. But it's highly unlikely, and this is where you have to be extremely careful. Understand that Robinhood is not a get rich quick scheme. It is investments, and investments take a long time. Some people invest hundreds of thousands of dollars on Robinhood, and they invest mainly into dividend paying stocks, and I'm gonna go over that with you in a little bit. So here, another thing you can do is you can create lists for yourself for stuff to watch. I have a random list, I have a dividend paying list. So those are stocks that I'm planning on purchasing at some point where the price is right, in my opinion. Again, all I have to look at for me is to see the performance of the stock, and if I'm seeing that those stocks are at their highest, historically the highest, for example, V stands for Visa. 5 years ago they were $77, as you can see, and today they're $218. So, and you can see according to this chart, today is the highest that Visa has ever been. It's never been higher than this mark over here. Even this mark here is slightly lower. It's 215, and we're looking at 218. And the lowest it's ever been is probably about 5 years ago. So for Visa in particular, I would maybe wait until it goes down to like 146, like it was here back in March. Again, this is the time where all stocks went down. But we can also see that back in December of 2018, it went even lower than that. But the general trend is upward. You can see that it keeps going up and down, but generally it keeps moving upwards. So I'm not buying this right now, and I'll show you where you can find the dividend yield. So dividend yield is how much they're gonna pay you. So this company pays 55%. So this stands for percent. If you see 4.0 here, it means they pay 4%. And here the analyst ratings just show you what the majority of people are doing. So 81% are buying Visa, 70% are holding, and 3% are selling. I don't believe in this because I don't want to buy a stock at its highest. If the economy crashes, everything is going to go down. Another thing that is important to look at is the market cap and the average volume, because what that stands for is how much people are actually trading that stock, which is a good sign. That means it's probably easy to buy and sell. If this number is pretty low, like in the thousands, that means you may have a problem buying or selling the stock, so be careful of that as well. I noticed that a lot of people that first get into the stock market, the first thing they want to do is get all those stocks that they know about and hear about all the time, like Apple, Netflix, Amazon, and they just go and they buy it. But don't be in a rush. Stock market is something you have to be very careful with. One thing I do want to know is that when you get into the stock market, you have to commit to watch this on a daily. Because if you miss a point where you should have sold because you skipped that one day, you're gonna regret it. So let's look at Apple. You can see that Apple is once again another stock that is at its highest ever. It's never been this high until this year. Only in the beginning of the year it was $57. Before that, let's look at this highest in 2019. It was $52. It's never been this high, and suddenly it's $132. Do you really want to buy it here? I have a pretty strong feeling that at some point it's gonna go back down there somewhere, and that will be a better time to buy it. So always pay attention to this before you commit to buying. Don't be in a rush. Notice the popular lists over here. This is a good place to find interesting new stocks if you don't know how to search for them. If you go into index ETFs, it's going to show you a lot of stocks that will pay dividends. So here's how you can see a lot of stuff. If you go into 100 most popular, the reason I don't like this section in particular is because it's something that Robinhood is recommending for you. That's what they want you to buy, and I don't want to buy what they want me to buy. See, they want me to buy Apple and Tesla. Well, it is actually the most popular stock because people are going crazy about it right now, and if you invest into them now, you're probably going to lose money. Now remember also, if you are using your last $500 or $1,000, if that's your rent money, your food money, groceries money, do not put it in the stock market. Only put money that you're willing to lose and that is extra. If you have extra $500, that's the money you gotta put in there. If you have to pay your rent or buy groceries with that money, this is not the money you should be putting into Robinhood or any other stock market app or platform. If you are not consistently checking this app once you start using it, you are going to end up losing money as well. Here's number one reason why I feel you should have Robinhood. At least just have this app and at least put like $500 in there. The reason is because the stock market today is way more publicly available than it's ever been before. Before, back in the day when I was younger, this was not available to me. I didn't know about it, nobody taught me about it, and nobody talked to me about it. And this is why you should have at least get your feet wet. Be ready. If something is really making sense for you to buy, well, be ready to buy it. Let's look at Bitcoin, for example. Bitcoin is at its crazy high. I personally don't have any Bitcoin because I'm not a Bitcoin person. Bitcoin here is at $32,000. This is extremely ridiculous. If you look at it, it was $29,000 just earlier today, as I'm looking at this, and at the highest it was at 33,000. Let's look at 3 months. I just want you to see this. It was 11,000. What if you had extra 11,000 back in October and you were to buy just one Bitcoin for 11,000, and today you would sell that Bitcoin for 32,000? Well, you just made $20,000 in just over a month. It's crazy right there. But once again, this thing is a roller coaster too. And at some point it was 4,000 and even less, and it used to be more too. Now a lot of people are predicting that Bitcoin is gonna go up. I'm not sure why it's going up like this, and I'm not investing into Bitcoin because I know that it can crash any second, and I'm just not willing to put my hard-earned money into this. If I have more cash and I'm more into this Bitcoin stuff and I research more, maybe I'll consider it, but at this point in time I will not be investing into Bitcoin. However, if you know what you're doing, definitely do your thing. It is also a good idea to read some of the news about the performance of different companies that you are planning on investing money into. For example, keep an eye, if you have 10 stocks, keep an eye on those companies just to have that at the back of your head. Because if you hear something bad about a company's performance and you have their shares, you're probably better off selling them. So that's just like I showed you Nikola, right? This one over here. I keep an eye on it because if I hear that Nikola is going bankrupt, I'm going to immediately jump on here and sell so that I can save my last pennies that I have in here. Or for that matter, if I hear something good about it and it's going to go up, I'm going to make sure to be here and be available so that I can quickly jump on it and sell when it's a good time. So those kind of companies, if you believe that it's going to come back to life, this is the time to buy. So Nikola is something that's lower than it's ever been. So prior to this one, I showed you all the stocks that are at its highest today, And this is an example of something that is at its lowest today. And if this company has future, this is the time to buy when it's at its lowest. And then it's gonna go back up to $60, $80, and even hundreds of dollars, just like Tesla, if they do things the right way, and you can make money this way. So Nikola could potentially be one of those things, and this is exactly why I'm holding it. It is a 50-50. It is a gamble. You are gambling, because in the end of the day, nobody knows what the stock market is going to do. It can crash any day, and you can't do anything about it, and you don't have control over it. The reason I like the airline stocks as well is because I find that right now they are also kind of at a lower point than what they were before historically. So let's look at those airlines. Delta Airlines used to be as high as this point over here, which is hard to catch, $62, and they were as low as $19 back in May, and now they're back to 40, and it just goes back and forth over here, but it's still below the highest points that it's been before. So this is a good time to buy, because for sure the airlines are going to go make a comeback unless they go bankrupt due to the pandemic. As long as they don't go bankrupt during the pandemic, and this is why it's a gamble, because you don't know what they're doing out there, and they might go out of business any moment. However, if they don't, they will come back strong, because people, as soon as the borders are open, as soon as we are able to travel again like we were able to before 2020, those stocks are gonna jump. They're gonna skyrocket. The companies are probably going to try to make up for all the money they've lost during the pandemic and raise their prices, make it ridiculous. Or maybe just going to go back exactly like what it was before, and the stocks will also go back up. So if you buy here when it's at 40, it's still a good time, because if it's going to go back to its higher 50s and 60s, you are making money. So quick recap on the video. Robinhood is not an app to get rich quick. It is an app where you can learn and study stocks. It's not the best for day trading. If you want to do something like that, you should get a lot of training for that yourself, do a lot of research and studying, and then get a proper setup so that you can day trade. Meanwhile, on here you can get accustomed to using the abbreviations, to seeing the performance of different stocks, because it's perfect. However, you don't have every stock available in here. So here, if you want to search for something, for example, if I didn't have Tesla over here already, and I'm going to type Tesla, well, it shows up over here. Or if I'm going to type in, for example, Toyota, right? It's going to show me Toyota is TM, and I'm going to click on that, and it's going to show me the stock of Toyota. Let's see, Toyota here is also, a lot of people are buying it, 56%, a lot of people are holding, and just a little bit of people are selling. And historically, Toyota is also at its highest right now, so that's why I'm not exactly buying Toyota, although I would love to have some Toyota shares. But just because I see it being on the low end most of the time, right, I could have probably bought it at 117 and sell it at 154 and make some money. So the next thing is always pay attention. Once you're in it, you have to commit to constantly check the stock prices, constantly be aware of where your company that you're invested into stands. That way you will minimize the risk of losing a lot of money. I recommend that you save up a little bit of money that you can afford putting in here just to practice. Another thing you can do for free is, if you have a bank account, which you probably should, most bank accounts offer what's called a practice trading account. And what it is on your online banking, you're going to have a feature where you click in there and it shows you this whole stock market where you can buy stocks at the actual prices, today's prices. However, you're using fake money, so if you're making a bad decision, that money that you lose is not real money, and that can also give you a little feel of it before you invest your own money into it. So this is number one thing you should do. There's also a lot of applications, and I'll drop a couple examples in the description for you to check out. Some applications that you can download on your phone to practice and just check out the world of stock trading. Give it a try for free, then get on here, check it out. However, don't fall into the little traps of Robinhood. The Robinhood is made in such a way that it's almost like a game. and it's really easy to get addicted to it, and you have all those confetti when you're buying stocks. Again, I'm doing this right now when the market is closed, so I can't show you. However, one thing I do want to show you is that you can place an order, and it's called limit order. So when I'm doing a limit order, what you're doing is you're telling the software that I'm not gonna buy it at $704, but I do want to buy it when it's going down to $500. And then you, for example, want to buy one share, and you're willing to pay $500 for one share, and you can choose whether it's good for just the day, if you feel like it's gonna go to that price in one day, or it's good until it's cancelled, so up to 90 days. And this is how I recommend buying certain stocks that are higher, because there is not really a way to set notifications here to show you the price, that the price is where you want it to be, so you have to check for it yourself. Lots of features you can use to start to get into that game of stock market. Definitely give it a try. Use your logic, don't trade with emotions, and don't use your rent and grocery money to put into the stock market ever. Remember that this can be addicting. This could be just like gambling at the casino, and we don't want to give those companies and other people our hard-earned money without doing proper research before we buy or sell anything. This was Vladdy B. I hope you enjoyed this video. More like this to come. Please hit the like button to help more people see this video, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And until next time.